This is Glenn Andrews of the Life Doctrines. It is October 1st, 2017. Uh, 2 more months and it'll be 2018. I know everyone had their New Year's resolution and their goals for the year. I've had mine. Uh, as usual, I've hit every single one except maybe two, but the year is not over. Um, this has been a year of challenges. I've been physically tested, financially tested, and I'm not alone. There's a million others being tested. I have to thank the Lord for letting me wake up today because I realized and know by watching a little bit of news that I've caught that people in Puerto Rico, Florida, Houston, and other places are in a more dire situation than I can even imagine. And so I need to count my blessings and pray for them, pray for those folks, and in any way that I can make a contribution, I have, I can, and I will. My wife said something to me last night. We were looking at some tickets for a particular show that's coming here soon, and she said, "Babe, you need to sell tickets, and you can do this. People need to hear you, not so much you as the messenger, but they need to hear your message." And I agree with her. Uh, I'm trying to find the avenue and platform to do it. I do a lot on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook. I think sometimes the message, the visual gets lost in translation. It even gets lost here on YouTube. A lot of folks post up a lot of stuff to make money, and I'm a capitalist as well, but the term organic gets thrown out there, and even that word now has a connotation that something that's supposedly organic, is it really organic? The one thing I can tell you, uh, I work out every day. I read every day. What I post, what I share, what I talk about, what I discuss, how I interact with friends, co-workers, uh, is true to life, externally and internally, uh, is who I am. So anything you see or hear from me, from me, is the truth. It is how I live. So I don't have to have a script. I don't have to have something uh, written beforehand. Do I need some index cards to proper note to prepare when someone say, "Hey, Glenn, I need you to come speak on this," because I just spoke to some young brothers last week, and man, in their 20s, 18 to 21. Here I am, 54, about to turn 55, and several of the brothers was brilliant, already doing some things, clothing lines, music, uh, poetry, writing, doing a lot. And so they just needed a little nudge here and there, and a little bit of my story, and just me knowing the process of when you get out and get outside your mind and open yourself up to other things, and other ways of thinking. There's a way you can create on a level that's just beyond what you can even imagine. Because I had someone do it for me. You know, I could have just been easily just in some corporate arena doing the corporate thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think now we see in 2017, even if you're working for someone, you have to have you a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and have you a side hustle or side career or something you passionate about. Because I don't think passion and employee go together. And me, maybe one day I might become an employer, but because of my mindset and the way I think, anyone I bring on as an employee, I want them to have a dream and a drive and a goal to be an employer, and I want to put them in a position to do that, because me putting them in a position to do more and do better is just going to show what kind of person I am. And a lot of so-called leaders or managers don't understand that. I have been a part of and seen over 20 some odd years so-called leaders, so-called managers constrict and restrict the productivity, the creativity of those up under them. And that's one of the things I have never done and will never do. Because just like having children, you want to put them in the best position to be the best they can be. And a lot of these companies hire individuals who have insecurities, lack of management skills, and quite frankly, lack leadership and shouldn't be in those positions in the first place. But either they know someone and or they have the academics and intellect, but they lack leadership. I think that's one of the things that's killing jobs for the most part. Is But the flip side of it is motivating folks to try to find their own thing. And I think it's one of the things that really is motivating a lot of the brothers that create their own businesses, sisters as well, people in general. The millennials are on top of it. They're on top of that aspect of it, because they don't sit around and wait for someone to dictate what their life should or shouldn't be, because they've seen in their parents my age where their parent has given their life to some company 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and that company just comes in on one day and hand you a pink slip. Or they've watched their mother or dad come in from a job that they hate, and they have to do things just to keep a roof over their head, but they can see that their parent's soul is either dying or is dead, and they have nothing left to show their children. But the children are very observant and realize, you know what, if I ever work for someone, that's not what I want. But somewhere in the middle of that, it gets missed. Something is missed to where you have these people running organizations that just they lack leadership, they lack creativity, they lack optimism, they lack direction, they lack operational efficiency. And I've seen it every day. And the kind of individual I am, who all six senses work, it's exhausting. And it just let me know I wasn't meant to work for someone. I just know this. And so as this last 3 months close out, I am just on another, just taking the mission to a whole nother level of looking, researching, and digging in deeper to find that thing deep in me that benefits others. Because I know what's going to come from that is my abundance, as well as it will create abundance for others. Uh, One of the things about me as well, as I've watched, and I watch YouTube, and I'm on YouTube, but I watch folks like Dr. Eric Thomas, David Goggins, the Navy SEAL, Jocko Millenick. I want to make sure I have his name correct. I watch Tom Bilyeu, Lewis Howell. I've caught a little bit of Gary Vee. Uh, and Les Brown as well, Lisa Nichols, and the one that really I come back to. I kind of do a full circle of listening to these individuals to get that information in my head as I go through the day. Mel Robbins and that 5 second principle. I use a little bit of everything some of these people say for me because it's fuel for me. The one thing I already have is the putting my health number one. That's never been a problem. I did it. I got off track a couple of years back when I was in corporate America, but it didn't take a big thing to get me back on track and knowing that my health has to be number one. Uh, Fear, my problem, my only thing with fear is the fact that I don't fear, and it makes me act hastily. But as I've gotten older, that has tempered down, and also knowing that I have a wife and 2 kids and a dog, that there's more than just me when something go knock in the night or something goes boom, and my first reaction is to grab a weapon and to run to it. Now I have wife and kids and young adults that tell me, hold up, dad, hold up, don't move so quick. Whereas before, I'm one of them kind of guys. I'll run to the fire. I ain't running away from the fire. So that's what, with old age and with children and wife and responsibilities, comes some wisdom, and you take it, you use that to make better choices, make better decisions. Uh, I've made some bad decisions here and there, uh, but I have to own up to those. Um, this next 3 months is going to be crucial. It's going to be crucial, and I'm about to dig a little deeper. I'm about to dig just that much deeper, and try to find, not even try to find, I'm going to find that sense of energy, that sense of purpose, because I know what the purpose is, and I'm gonna flip that over, and I'm gonna be able to make that connection to other people, and they'll be able to use me, use my story, use my life, use what's in my head, use what's in my heart, use everything, and it's gonna fuel them. It's coming. It's coming. I know it's coming. Uh, not you can't be selfish. You just can't. That selfishness will leave you in a state of flux and leave you in a state of being an old maid or old man living in a house by yourself, and you'll die alone and you'll die forgotten. And the one thing Dr. E, he puts it out there, you'll be phenomenal, or you'll be forgotten. And I've already have done some phenomenal things, and I'm not done. Really, what it is now is the world needs to know where I grew up in Southern California, San Diego, Southeast San Diego, 3820 Logan. Folks that have grown up in that area, young brothers that have grown up in that area that went into the gang life, and thinking that from where they are, they can't go to another place. I've traveled, I've been around the world, I've seen things. I got academics, I got academic. Uh, I've gone to college. I got MBA, bachelors. I've just done some things supposedly individuals from that neighborhood shouldn't be able to do, and it's just time. It's just time. So it's it's not when it's gonna come or how it's gonna come. I know it's gonna happen, and I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. Uh, My name is Glenn Andrews. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada. I grew up in Southern California, Southeast San Diego. I am a Morehouse man. I have an MBA. I have a Six Sigma Lean Green Belt. I have published 11 books. I've done 3 blogs. I used to run a bank. I managed a $100 million warehouse line to a penny. I've never stolen anything in my life. I've never committed a crime. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I do have some cigars. I'm trying to change the narrative. And it's not even I'm trying to change the narrative. I will change the narrative. This is Glenn Andrews, The Life Doctrines. The narrative will change. Look out for those heroes and kings.